Oh yeah, nah. Mate.
Holy Keint!
Good day everyone, so welcome back to another episode of Ooly TV. I'm going to be starting a new little series, so it's going to be trying to give back to you guys and share with you some knowledge that I have gained in my own business journey to help you guys if you want to start your own clothing brand or your own business. I'm going to be covering 5 main things that you need to take before you release your products to sort of get your business out there before you release your products to the world. So yeah, let's get into it. So in this episode, I'm going to be covering the first of the 5 steps, which is your image, your brand's image. So this is probably one of the most important things as it really sets up your brand and shows people what it's all about. They can look at your brand and they know what you're about. So when you look at Nike, you know they make the best sneakers, right? They make the best sportswear. They sponsor the biggest teams. They sponsor the biggest leagues. So they're the industry leader. You need to have your identity and your image. And so we're going to go over some things that you can do, that you should do before you really start investing any more time or money. So the first thing I recommend you do is just write down why you want to do it. Why do you want to start a clothing brand? Like, just ask yourself and just do some brainstorming. You don't have to do it very long. So for me, for instance, I say Ooly Keint all the time. Like, it's as simple as that, And I just love saying Ooly Keint. And it was sort of a bit of a, it just progressed from one thing to another, and then it eventually became Ooly and this and that, So, and it's quite fun between me and my mates, a bit of an inside joke. So, and then I started saying it in a different group of mates, and they thought it was funny too. And then they're like, "Fuck, you say that all the time." And then one bloke was just like, "Put on a shirt." So I was like, "Yeah, all right." So if I can put on a shirt, And I figured like people think it's a funny thing, and they say it all the time, and even kids that have never heard it before, they hear me say it and they laugh and they think it's funny. So I figured if they like the phrase so much, they're wearing it on their clothing, then they might not, take too badly to that. They might like that. They might purchase that. That was really my main reason to do it. But if you look at other clothing brands such as Boise, who I interviewed last week, Clothing The Gap, the Shaka Project, these are all Australian brands that are sort of using their brand and their influence for a much bigger cause. Clothing The Gap, for those of you who don't know about them, they are an Aboriginal owned clothing brand, and they use all of their profits, they donate all of their profits to Aboriginal health and education programs. So really good initiative, and they obviously use their social status or influence, I suppose, to help raise awareness for Indigenous people in Australia, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, their identity, and also social injustices which exist in our societies today. I do really like brands like that which operate for a bigger purpose, but mine it's just a muck around. Your brand can be about anything, and as long as you like it and you enjoy it and it makes you happy, then you go with that. The second thing I would recommend you do is just try and think about what value your brand is going to bring to people. What makes your clothing different? What makes your clothing better? Why do I want to spend my hard-earned money on your clothing? That's a serious thing you need to take into consideration, because for me, you say, like, I love Ooly Keint, and I'm like, fucking Ooly Keint's mad, like I say it all the time, everyone loves it. But for someone who isn't familiar with the phrase or the brand, and they see my Instagram, are they going to buy my stuff? Like, do they see that it has enough value? Does it resonate with them enough for them to spend their money? That's the sort of thing you got to figure out. What's going to make you different so that people are going to spend their money on your gear? Probably the biggest way to do that and to create value for your brand is through storytelling. Storytelling is quite easy with the platforms that we use and the technology we have. I'm recording on my phone right now. Like, I use it to record all my videos. I use this $150 mic. I built this freaking mic stand out of some freaking curtain rails. It ain't hard. You can just pick up this sort of stuff, and we already have most of this stuff. You don't need flash cameras. You don't need flash, condenser microphones, XLR microphones, and big, Rode processors and audio interfaces and all that stuff to do a podcast. Like, people pay money to set up a podcast account. I researched and found a free one on my phone. Like, I literally transfer this from my computer on my phone, post it for free. It's up on Spotify in like 20 minutes. You just need to do your research and find these things, right? And use what you have, and it all comes back to storytelling. So you need to document your journey, as they say. I don't know if you listen to the Ice Project, he always goes on about that. Documenting your journey. And when he first said that, I was like, man, whatever. Like, but after seeing brands like him doing it as well, and the success that they're having, and also I have also been documenting my journey the whole time, but without even realizing or doing it on purpose. But it really helps people feel a connection to your brand, and that's what brings value. Why do you support the team that's from your home city? Why do you support that? Because you have a connection to them. They're repping your city. Why do we support Australia as Australians in any sport or anything? Well, because they're repping where we come from. They're repping Australia. You need to feel a connection. People need to feel a connection, right? And it needs to be evident. Put your face to the brand. That's a big one as well. You need to have a face to your brand and engage with your customers so that they feel like they're connected to you and connected to your brand. And that's going to increase your brand's value a lot. So we've already sort of talked about it a little bit, but social media, all right, is a big one. So you want to start an Instagram account straight up, okay? And you want to put your face on it, like I said before. This can be quite daunting for many people. I remember when I did my first one, like that was fucking crazy. Like I was so scared to put my face on this brand. I think I had like 150 followers or something. So, you know, I was scared shitless, and like I imagine many other people would be as well when doing that for the first time. But you know, you could do it more and more, and the podcast was daunting and videos were daunting, and they still are. But you know, you gain confidence, and your people they like that sort of content. So you need to put out stuff like this and engage with your people and give them value, all right, and give them free content. And that can all be done through social media. That's a really big one, and starting it from day dot is the best one. So you want to have your Instagram up and running and posting months before you drop your first collection. You need to have that up and running and documenting and engaging with people and spreading the word of your brand months and months and months before you drop anything. Okay, that's huge, because what that does is that builds anticipation, right, for your clothing. So you don't have any clothing available now, right? But you're engaging with your audience. You're building a social presence, all right? But you don't have anything available. So they're like, fuck, man, this is a clothing brand. There's no clothes, right? So we're building for, say, 3 months, right? And then bam, we drop a collection. That's building hype and anticipation around your brand. You're building a social presence and you're building value without already having any products readily available. So the demand is very high, but obviously you have no supply. So it's a very general economic term, is supply and demand. But what you want, of course, is a high demand, right? You always want a high demand, and you can increase the demand by having a small supply. Okay, because if you have a very large supply of something, the demand is very low. You take rocks and diamonds, for instance. There's an abundance of rocks in the world, as we know. Okay, they're worth nothing. Are there many diamonds? No, hence why they're worth so much money. You don't want to have any clothes for a few months, building a social presence, engaging with your followers, okay, getting the word around, and then you drop it, okay? And you do that through social media. What you can do in the meantime, from when you start to when you drop your first collection, is give away entry point items. Entry point items are little things you can give away for free that sort of promote your brand in a positive way. So they can be stickers, they can be magnets, they can be wristbands, they can be pens, they can be anything like that. They're cheap, you can make them in mass production, and you can give them away for free, okay? And it's not going to cost you too much, okay? Yes, you are going to be losing money technically, but you're going to be spreading the name of your brand, and you're going to be building brand awareness within your social community, your local community, and it's a physical thing, okay? So people they have something of your brand, okay? They're going to put a sticker on their laptop and take it to school. Kids in their class are going to see it. Kids put my stickers on the back of their windscreens all the time. Stickers are probably the best one, especially for those of you who are starting out. They're cheap. You can just give them away for free, man. You can give them away at school. You can give them away at work. You can give them to your friends. And yes, it will be costing you money. That's something you're going to have to come to terms with, because giving away stuff for free is a huge one for spreading your brand. It's really important. You need to embrace it. So yeah, that was the first episode of this series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really like giving back to you guys and helping you. And I think if there's anyone out there who wants to start their own brand or business, I 100% encourage you to do it. There may be other people who don't want you to do it, like your family, your friends, or significant others, but I seriously encourage you, because you're going to learn a lot, and it's really fun, man. Thank you very much for your time. Join me in the next episode next weekend, where I will be talking to you guys about branding, okay? And that's very important again, so that's will be the second step. So, Ooly, Keint, let's go.